with Chip Towers and then Mark Weiser.
Sahvir, great game. Obviously, but what's the takeaway? Obviously, you guys came up short. You're up 14, and they made a little run there in the middle. But otherwise, it felt like you guys played really well.
Yeah, it was a good game. We had good spurts, good sequences of the game. We forced them to 22 turnovers, but we also had 20. At the end of the day, it came down to one possession. It was 72-89. I'm sorry, 82-79 with a minute left. Dude hit a tough shot. So we did some things that, we put ourselves in that situation. Like you said, we were up and we were able to sustain that lead. But also they went up probably about 9 or 11. And we also brought it back. So it was a back and forth game. It was a tough loss, but we gotta work on some stuff.
Sahvir, obviously you guys had a very tough matchup the first time around in Tuscaloosa. Do you take something positive out of, how well you played against them, that you led and you were, like you mentioned, there was a 3-point game there before they hit the 3, or is it more about, not getting enough stops when you need it in the second half?
Yeah, I'm not a moral victory kind of dude. I'm always a win or lose. You either win the game or you lose the game. We did great things in the game to put ourselves in position to win. But at the end of the day, we did not win the game. So I feel the same way. We lost, and I want to win. So.
All right, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Mike Griffith. All right, let's have Mike Griffith.
Yeah, Sahvir, I guess I would just ask you the obvious two obvious stats, one of the rebounds, the size issue, but the free throws, the 13 of 23. How much of that is just, neither team shot particularly well. How much of that is just the team being exhausted? It looked like there was a lot of chasing around, a lot of defense being played. Would you attribute some of that to the energy that was being expended for both teams today?
Yeah. We came out defensively with some intensity. I'm sure that caught them by surprise. But then again, they also had to expend some energy for that, to come back in the second half. So, it was just a game where we didn't make free throws, they didn't make free throws, but I think we needed our free throws a little bit more, especially since I don't think we shot the 3 as necessarily well as they did. I think they went 8 for 10 in the second half. It was tough.
All right, let's have Brian Curley and then Charles Odom.
Hey, Sahvir, how do you feel about where this team's at going into the tournament after 2 losses to end the regular season?
First thing, I'm sorry, but it's Sahvir. It's not Sahvir.
I meant to correct myself. I realized I got it wrong. I apologize.
But it's disappointing a little bit. But like I said, we can take some good things and we play some good basketball at spurts. But I think it's tough. We're trying to win this game to go into the SEC tournament with a win. But it's one of the best leagues in the country, so you always got to focus on the next game. You got to break down the film, see what you did wrong, learn from it, come to practice the next day with the mindset to get better and focus on the next day. Focus on the next game and the next day.
Charles Odom, do you have a question? All right, let's go with Davis Baker and then Tori Heck.
Hey, Sahvir, what was the impact of the increased student attendance today? I noticed you guys jumped out to that early lead. Could you hear him?
Yeah, I was gonna shout them out at the end, but like I said, I always want to give a big thanks to the students and everyone who came to the game. It was much appreciated. We felt your energy. We kind of fed off that energy. It's always great to have Dog Nation knowing that they're gonna have your back. So we definitely felt it, and hopefully sometime soon in the near future we can have everyone at the stag again.
Hey, Sahvir, you mentioned the turnovers and the defense a little bit. How much do you think the defense came into play in the outcome of today's game versus just the scoring and that kind of stuff? It seemed like a very defensive-heavy game, especially in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that Alabama could really score the ball. I know we can score the ball as well, but their thing is, moving the ball, making you rotate, making that one more pass. And for us, is be able to control the dribble, keep the guy in front of us, and not have to rotate, make them take tough shots. And since we jumped out to an early lead, they also had to play some defense too, so I wouldn't get away from them too much. So yeah, it was a defensive game. It was an intense game, but at the second half, the scoring kind of picked up a little bit, and we weren't able to get some stops at what we needed, and weren't able to execute when we needed.
All right, and with the last question, Charles Odom.
Sahvir, I apologize if you've already commented on this, but what was the feeling about your defensive improvement as a team today?
I liked where we were. I mean, obviously to force 22 turnovers, that's always a plus. But we got out rebounded. That's not something that I don't think we typically get out rebounded by that margin. I think they were plus 13 or 14. So that's something we got to clean up. And also toward the rebounding standpoint, we only had 7 offensive rebounds, which might be a season low. So there's some things that we did good defensively, especially in the first half, making them take tough shots, forcing 22 turnovers. But also in that stretch where it kind of came back, we had a little defensive lapses. So the main thing is being consistent on defense throughout the whole game, keeping our guy in front, making them take challenge twos and rebounding the ball, finish the possession with a rebound.
All right, thanks so much, Sahvir.
Thank you.
Up next, we're going to have Katie Johnson. All righty, let's start first with Charles Odom and then Chip Towers.
Katie, can you talk about the ebb and flow of this game? What do you guys take positive out of your continuing to come back in the second half when it appeared that Alabama was trying to pull away?
We was down quite a bit, probably about 6 or 8, but at the 1 minute mark, probably at the 2 minute mark, but we kept fighting and we got it down to about 3 or 4. So let's keep fighting, playing together and being together the whole time, which we need to improve on a little bit. That's what probably would have got us to win at the end, but a few mistakes just came down to it and Alabama executed at the end.
Good to see you, KD. Apparently, Bama brings out the best in you. You're probably in a great position to answer this, and I know you guys got games left to play ahead of you. But you're leading a top 5 team in the country by 14. Obviously, you didn't get the win going, but how does this make you feel about the future? The other guys coming back, about the potential of this team.
I feel real great about the future with us. The guys coming back, us playing together this year. And, I didn't get to play the half of the season, so me playing the second half, I think we're getting a little closer later on in the season. So I see it's a great time. We have a great season next year.
Okay, let's have Mark Weiser and then Mike Griffith.
Hey, KD, I got kind of a 2-part question. How important was it for you to kind of get in that groove, hitting the threes, since Bama was really stroking it? And then also, I guess it was a 3-point game, and they hit a 3. Was we trying to help on that play and got back a little later, or do you think you contested it like you wanted?
The threes was a good part of the game, but at the end, I was trying to help. I think it was Justin probably on the drive, and I tried to get back as fast as I could, and he just made a tough shot.
Thank you.
Hey, Katie, I guess I would just ask you about, where you see yourself taking your game. Obviously, you're an explosive guy that gets to the rim, that can hit the 3, but where do you see your game picking up and improving? What haven't we seen from you yet?
Me playing the whole game. Some games I have spurts and fall off in the second half. So me trying to get to play the whole game and staying consistent with myself. So I think I'm improving on that.
Okay, and for the last 2 questions, let's have Jed May and Palmer Toms.
Hey, KD, I know Coach Crean always talks about, getting 3 stops in a row to keep momentum going. That didn't seem to happen very much in the second half. Just what allowed Alabama to have that much success after halftime, and what does that do to a team's psyche when, every time down the court, Alabama's putting the ball in the bucket?
We had a great first half with playing against Alabama offense, and I guess the second half we had a few mistakes coming down, and us getting those stops, we just couldn't get to it, I guess.
Yeah, KD, how do you feel about where this team is at headed into the SEC tournament next week?
Oh, I feel great. You know, we had a good game. I mean, that's the team that won the league. So us losing by 4 or 5, way better than the game that we played them last time. You know, so us closing that deficit. You know, we closing out the game with the first half we had. I think if we play like that the whole game, we'll have a better game. But I feel good about the SEC tournament.
All right, thanks so much, Katie. And we will be joined by Coach Crean shortly.